Okay, so in the last lecture, we started with Express.js, how to create a server in Express, and then we also saw about the various URLs, how we can um, go through various URLs and then send the response for each and every request. Like we have get slash, get contact, get about, and also we saw about the wildcard route. So if we visit a URL which is not existing, then in that case we can use this double star wildcard route. Okay. And we also saw about how to display HTML file by using send file method. And also we learned about the static files, how we can display the static files using express.static. Okay. Now today we'll add one to some more static files because we are going to create some basic CRUD application. Okay. It will be for now it will be just in-memory based data because we don't have a database right now. But later on when we connect to the MongoDB database, we will persist our data in MongoDB database. Okay. But till now it will be like in-memory data, like whenever the server restarts, your data will get refreshed. Okay, so we'll be just doing in memory data for now. Okay, but it will be purely CRUD of application. Okay, so for that, first of all, let's add some styling also, because right now if you see we have an index.html file. Let's just start the application first. So it's npm start. Yeah, we also saw about the Normon package, right? Okay, I have used 3000 port. I guess 3000 port is already in running, so I'll just change the port to 4000. Okay, so it's 4000. You can see that I'm using 4000 port, but I have to change it here as well. So instead of doing this, what we can do is we can create a separate variable for port, and then we can assign the port number to it, and we can directly use that port variable here. We have to use template string here so that we can use dollar curly brace and port. Okay, so this will be C port 4000. Okay, so now if you go to localhost colon 4000, we'll see hello node page. Okay, this is the index HTML page. Now if you want to add some styling, let's say I want to add bootstrap into our application. So what I will do, I will just go to getbootstrap.com. So here you will find how you can use Bootstrap into your application. Okay, there are various ways to use it. Okay, if you go and visit docs, you will see in the download section, you can either download the entire CSS and JS files. You can download the or use the CDN, or you can use npm to install the npm packages and then use those JS and CSS files into your application. Okay, I'll directly download the source files. Okay, not the source, just compiled CSS, because source files will include the uncompressed files, and they will have uh, the entire CSS files with like it will not be compressed. Okay, so it will be not minified. Okay, so just you have to download this compiled one so that it will be compressed and we can directly use it. Okay? Or it will be minimum in size. Okay, so I'll just extract it here. Okay, so we have a CSS and JS folders here. Okay, I just want to use CSS, but the entire CSS, which is bootstrap.css or bootstrap.main.css. Okay, this is a entire version, which is, you can see if I just open it in my VS Code, you'll see that this is the entire file. But if you open the minified version, you will see it's a much compressed version. Oops. See, this is a compressed version. Okay, and you can see that the file size is also reduced to 21 KB, and you will see to 61 KB. Okay, so it's better to use minified version always. So I'll just copy this into my express demo folder. So I can either go to public folder where I have images files, or I can simply create a separate folder for CSS, and inside that folder I can write my resources, okay, or JS files, CSS files. So I'll just create a CSS folder here, and I will put my CSS bootstrap main.css file in this. So it's dragged and dropped. So it's copied here. Please repeat. I lost my connection. Okay. Okay. It would be better if you guys um, have a better connection, because it will be difficult for everyone every time to repeat everything. Okay, so see, we will be using Bootstrap. So to use Bootstrap, we have to download the CSS files. So it's like you have to download compiled CSS files, or you can use the CDN versions as well. Okay, there is a CDN version for CSS and JavaScript. Okay, so you can use this, or you can use compiled version, or you can use package managers to download the package, Bootstrap package, and then use the downloaded package in your files. Okay, but we will use compiled or minified CSS version. So I have just downloaded it, extracted the CSS for CSS and JS file, and we'll use both the files here. And for CSS, I'm creating a CSS folder. For JavaScript, I will create a JS folder, and I will put bootstrap.main.js in JS folder. So we have both the files, bootstrap.main.css and bootstrap.main.js. Now, how we can use this in my file? Okay, like I want to use it in index.html. If I directly use it, I will not be able to use it, because last time also we saw you cannot directly access any of the files. Okay, to access them, you have to make the folder as static. Okay, right now we only have a public folder as static, so that's the reason we can use it as a static slash wallpaper.webp, which we have used here in image. Okay, do you want to use this CSS and JS as well? So in that case, what you can do is you can add the same path, or if you want to give some different name, it's up to you. Okay, you can add it on the same path, or you can give the different path name as well. Okay, and here you will specify the path that I want to make it static. Okay, so here it would be, let's say, JS, and I will say JS. Or else if you just want to write static, that's fine. Okay, so everything will be accessed through slash static slash whatever the file name is. Okay, so all the files inside public JS and CSS folders can directly be accessed through slash static folder name, file name. Okay, so now if I go and add a link tag here, where I'll specify slash static slash bootstrap main.css. Okay, this will include the CSS file. Similarly, if I want to add this JS file, I use script src slash static slash bootstrap main.js. Okay. Now, if you refresh your page, if you save it and refresh the page, now you can see the name is basically in some other font. If you refresh your page, you will see the font is changed, and also the margin is gone now. Okay, that means Bootstrap is we are using Bootstrap here. Okay, Bootstrap CSS file is included properly. Okay, here also in the head section you can see the static slash bootstrap dot means says here. If you open in new tab, you will see the Bootstrap content. Okay, that means I can able to use Bootstrap. Similarly, I can use Bootstrap JS as well. So if you open the JS, you will find the JS file here. Okay, so I'm able to use Bootstrap CSS and JS successfully in my application by using the same method express.static. But in this case, I'm just using the same path, the same fig path for this using static, and I'm able to use Bootstrap main.css and Bootstrap main.js. Okay, so that's how I'm using it. And now if you want to use the same in other files, like let's say I want to use for contact page as well, then in that case you will not have a css bootstrap js file, because we have a contact.html separately, and we haven't included bootstrap main css bootstrap main js here. Okay, so how can we do that? So for that we will be needing some template engines, so that we can do it in one page and then reuse in other pages. Okay, right now if you see, we will be like, if I want to use bootstrap learning that css, I have to include the css and js files same in contact.html as well. Okay, then only I will be able to see the this page. Okay, but if you want to, if you just want to reduce this duplicacy, then you'll have to use some template engine. Okay, so see template engine, but till now, so is it understood how to include the css and js files as well? It's the same thing which we have done for images. Since it's also a static file, raw resource file, you can directly access it. Okay, so just do one thing, add bootstrap into your file so that we can add layouts and make it beautify. So just do it. Once done, let me know. So first of all, download the bootstrap, uh, this compiled version, compressed file, and extract it. After extracting, you will get css and js files. Use bootstrap.mean.js and bootstrap.mean.css. We don't need everything. We just need bootstrap.mean.css and bootstrap.mean.js file. Okay, just copy them in your css folder and js folder, or if you want, you can put in them in public folder as well. It's up to you. Okay, yeah, then in that case, you just have to use this only one uh, path. It's a static for file path here. Okay, do it. Once done, let me know. You done? Okay. What about others? Okay, good. Okay, we'll wait. Then, Bharti. Okay. So as I just told you, okay, like if you want to use some, uh, like you have to reduce the redundancy, then you need something dynamic which we can use it like everywhere. Like this, let's say this CSS or JS file. I just want to include it in one file. Then I just use a link that file to everywhere. Then it will be directly used. Or else like if I want to add some dynamic content to my HTML page. Okay, right now, if you see, in every page we have a static content. There is no dynamic content. So if you want to use dynamic content, you need a template engine. Okay. So nowadays, people generally don't use template engines because we have a front end frameworks like Angular, React, Vue.js. By using this, we can create our front end application, and there is no need to write a front end application in back end. Okay, so like uh, um, previously, like around let's say 4 or 5 years back, if you see, people were using template engines more because that time the frameworks were not that popular. Okay, but nowadays frameworks like Angular front end frameworks like Angular React library or Vue.js library. These are very popular, and using this we can create the front end application. So this is not required actually. Okay, but still for a small applications we can use this template engines. Okay, but for bigger applications it would be better to use front end frameworks or front end libraries for that. Okay, backend can be used to create APIs, okay, where we can create REST APIs, and this REST APIs can connect to your database, communicate with your database, and the data can be sent and back to your front-end application through APIs. Okay, so we'll be doing this REST APIs later on, but for now we'll just see how to use template engine and create our front-end application through our backend itself, and how we can make it dynamic. Okay, now to make it dynamic or to use any to create a front-end based application. Okay, we need to use some template engines because your front-end application, if you are trying to create a front-end application, not a simple website, simple static website, it won't be a simple static website. Will be a dynamic application where you will do some like interaction with your website application, where you will submit the form. Okay, or you will have some listing, editing. Okay, for this kind of stuff, your application should be dynamic. Okay, so in that case, we have a template engines for that. Okay, and Express has excellent support for template engines. If you go to your expressjs.com, expressjs.com site, here you will find in the resources section the template engines. Okay, there are a lot of template engines which are supported by Express. Okay, these are just the mentioned one, but out of this, there are other template engines are also available. So you can see Pug, Hamel, EJS, HBS. Okay, it's a handlebars, Squarely, ETA, Nunchucks, and you can find a lot of template engines. Okay, out of this, like very some a lot of our popular engines out there like Pog, EJS, HBS, then Nunchucks. Okay, these are some popular template engines. Okay, but still, if you want to use any, we will use one engine. Okay, because most of the engine works on the same way. If you use them in Express, okay, only the difference is syntax. Okay, it will be a syntactical difference between every template engine. Okay, so we will be using EJS, embedded JavaScript template engine. You click on this, you will go to the EJS page. Okay. And it will tell you how we can use the EJS engine, okay, or to write your dynamic HTML. So if you have a user variable which we passed from a backend to your front end, then in that case you can just use less than percentage symbol to include your EJS expression, and then you can write HTML and you can use user.name. It's like if you guys have done Angular or React, Angular if you have done, then you can say double curly braces. Whatever is written in the double curly braces, nothing but your expression. So here, instead of double curly brace, we are using less than percent equals to or less than percent. So it's just a syntax for it. Okay. Now every template engine uses its own syntax. If you go for handlebars, it again uses curly brace symbol. Okay. So we will be using EJS. So let's see how we can use EJS. Now, whenever you use any template engine in your app, in your Express application, first of all, we need to install it. Okay. So how do you install your EJS engine in your application? We will stop this and we will install EJS using npm install and EJS. Okay, just have to type EJS. It's template now package name for your EJS. Once you install EJS, you will find that in package.json file, it's installed. Now you don't need to import it in your in your application. You just have to use it. Okay. Or let's say you have to set the engine. Okay, which template engine you are going to use it. Okay. How can we set it? We will use server dot set method to set the view engine name. So we'll write view engine here, comma, we'll set EJS. Okay, but you just have to do this. So when we are using EJS, this is a common for each and every engine that you can use. Okay, we have to set the engine using server.set method where we'll specify the view engine name. Okay, this is a property you can say. So property name is view engine and its value is EJS. So we are using the engine as EJS. It's like setting view engine property as EJS for our Express application. In view engine property as EJS for our Express application. So when you do this, okay, how your Express application will understand that which EJS file or which file to be considered as a template file. Okay, so sorry, whenever you use any template engine, okay, by default Express searches all the files in a views folder. Okay, there is a views folder which is used for every template engine, and in this we will create files. Okay, now for EJS the file extension should be .ejs. Okay, so let's say I call it as index.ejs. So the file extension for EJS is .ejs, and rest all the stuff inside this EJS files is nothing but your plain HTML only. Okay, so it's a plain HTML. Just you can write your expressions inside this. Okay, so let's say I call it as index page, and then it's one index page like this. Okay, now let's say I want to display this index page when I go to this get slash page. Okay, right now we are displaying slash index.html page, which is the HTML file here. Instead of this HTML file, I want to show this EJS index.ejs file. Okay, now how do you show the view file? You can show the view file using response.render method. Okay, this render method we can use whenever you are using any template engine, and in this we just have to specify the view name. Okay, so our view name is index. Okay, it's not view slash index, it's index. Okay, because by default all the files are checked inside views folder. Okay, so you don't have to write view slash. Okay, just specify the view name, that is index, and you don't even have to specify the extension because by default the extension picked up will be .ejs only. Okay, even if you write index.html, only index.ejs file will be picked up. Okay, not the other file. Okay, but you just have to write like this and save it. Now when you run your application again, and go to your localhost colon 4000 page. Okay, you'll find index page. Okay, this you can see the font is different because there is no bootstrap. Okay, here also you can see there is no bootstrap index page. Okay, and also we can see in the index.html we have used hello node. Here we are using index page. Okay, that means the correct index file is rendered. Okay, so understood everyone how to use a simple. This is just a simple static file. We will change it to add some dynamic content. But for till now it is understood. I'll explain it again. Okay, so first of all, you have to install EJS using npm I EJS. Once it is installed, create a views folder. Inside view folder, create one EJS file, name it as whatever you want, index.ejs. Inside this, write your plain HTML content, okay, static HTML content. And when you want to render this index file, you can use response.render method to render your view. Okay, so in this case, our view is nothing but index.ejs file. Okay, so it's inside views folder. You don't have to specify view slash index.ejs. Just have to specify the view name, that is index, not even the extension. Okay, because by default the extension will be picked up when you are specifying the view engine as EJS. Okay. Understood everyone? Okay, okay, good. So write it down, then we will see how to add some dynamic content to this page. Okay. Yes. So I'll join to mobile will do practical data through recording. Okay, no issues Anjali, but make sure you are going through the recording because this is like we will be continuing this application. Okay, and we will lead whatever we have done in the previous lecture. Okay, so make sure you go through the entire lecture. Then okay, good. Now let's see how we can add some dynamic content to our page. Okay. So first of all, I let's say a simple variable I want to display in my this index.ejs file. Okay. So let's say I pass some name. Now, how do I pass? First of all, how do I pass that variable from my server to this EJS file or view file? Okay, to pass any variable, okay, you can see this render function has view as a first parameter and then options as second parameter. And these options we can specify comma separate and curly brace. We can specify the values in this object. Okay, so let's say I want to specify name colon my name. Okay, so here the name will be passed here. Okay. And I want to let's say this print this name here. Okay, how do I print it? You can see in EJS page. Okay, if you want to use any dynamic content, okay, we have some syntax here, okay, tags. So script like tag for control flow. So here control flow means like if conditions and everything you can use a white space previous script white space before it equals to output the value into the template. Okay, so that means this less than percent equals to, we can use it to output the value. Okay, so let's use this. So instead of index, I want to display, let's say hello and my name. So I'll say less than percent equals to, and then percent greater than. This is the ending tag, and in this I will use name. Okay, so this property we can directly use it over here. So name property. Okay. So my file is saved, and you can see it's been restarted. I guess it's restarted. So I'll just go and refresh my page. You'll see hello Pranit is displayed. Okay, that means I'm able to pass this property name property from my server to this EJS file view file, and I am successfully able to display it here. Okay. Understood? Understood, everyone? Okay, good. Now what if I want to pass some object and then use it? Okay, let's say I have a user object here. Okay, let's say something like this user colon, and then it is object with name, let's say my name, and then age something, let's say 24. Okay, I want to use this user object here. Okay, and instead of name, okay, I'll just keep the name here, okay, just for reference. And since I'm passing now user object here, how do I display the user object? I'll comment this one. How can I display name here? Anyone? Can anyone tell me how can I display name here? User dot name. Correct. It's an object, so we can directly write user dot name. Okay. And if you refresh your page, you'll see user dot name something like this. Name is not defined. Okay. Now what is the problem here? It is saying name is not defined. Okay. User dot name. Did I save it? Yes, then we'll go through the recording database. Okay, this is just a minute. Let me check what's the issue here. User dot now. Name is not. Okay, let me check. I think it's not about this. It's about this. The error is coming from here. You can see the error is at line number 10. Okay, which is commented code. Okay, and I am getting over here, error over here. So the error is regarding that line, not this one. So you can see the name user.name is correct. So this is HTML comment. If you want to print this comment, then I guess you'll have to use this, but again it will throw an error, I think so. No. Okay. So you'll have to use slash slash when you are using EJS. Okay. Otherwise it will throw error like this. The name is not defined. Okay. And it's on line number 10 itself. Okay. So use this one. Okay, understood. What was the issue? Okay. Okay. Do it. Then we will see the next one. Then put on port number. Did you change your port number to 4000 or is it 3000? Check because I have changed it to 4000. Okay. Share screen. Are you sharing? Okay. Show me the code. What is the error? Below in the terminal. Scroll up. You haven't installed EJS. See, it is telling you EJS not defined. Your page is showing, but your EJS not. You have not installed EJS. Have you done npm install EJS?
Yes, sir.
Show me. Show me the package.json file. Okay. And have you used uh, that express? Go to the server.js file, or have you set the engine? View engine. Server.set view engine. Okay. Uh, can you scroll up in the terminal? I don't think you are using node. Using node. Okay. Okay. So your folder name is wrong. It should be views. It's not view. The folder name should be views. S. Right click and rename. Hmm. Now check. Stop and start up. Hmm. Is it working? Because I'm not able to see. Hello. Hello. Are you there with the working?
Yes, sir.
Your screen is stuck.
It's raining. That's why it's
Not able to see because your screen is stuck. Can you reshare it again? Is it working? Is it working? Is it working?
showing.
Uh, you are not audible properly. Is it working? Hello. Can you reshare? Okay, no worries. Let's see that later on. Okay, so now you're able to send the variable or object to your page and you're able to see it. Okay, now let's see, I'll add some more pages to this views, you can see. So we have contact also, so we'll write contact.ejs, and then we have a about also, so we'll write about.ejs. Okay, and we'll add some content about us. It will be about us. Okay, and then we have a contact contact. Okay, we have three pages. Now I want to add them in my server.js file. So instead of send file, we will use a response.render. Okay, and this, for this we'll write contact. Sorry, for this we'll write about. For 400 also we can write 404.ejs file. Just copy whatever is inside this, paste, and I'll then back to server and paste, render. This will write 404. Let's come back and see if all are working or not. So about page, if you go to contact, it's a contact page. Okay, if you go to some any other page, you'll see 404 not found. Okay, so everything is working perfectly fine. Okay, now let's do now let's add our bootstrap. Okay, now to add a bootstrap, we again have to do the same thing. No worries, dear Bharti. Let's see that issue later on. First, focus on this. Okay, so we'll add this bootstrap in our EJS file. Okay, so you can do the same thing here. Okay, to add your CSS and JS files. And now if you refresh your page, you will see the bootstrap is added. Okay. Now, same thing we have to add it, like say, if I add some more CSS file into it or some more JavaScript files. Okay, and in that case, we'll have to add the same things in contact.ejs, same things in about.ejs, same thing post for it.ejs. Like I'll have to add all the files. Suppose if I add some more CSS files, some more JavaScript files, I'll have to add all those files in each and every file, EJS file. Okay. Now to avoid that, what we can do is we can create a separate EJS file for this. Okay. Let's say I have a sorry folder here which has partials. Okay, we can call it as partials. Okay, so partials means like partial files, we will save it over there. So I'll just create a separate file here. Let's say header.ejs. Okay, let's say head.ejs, not header.ejs, head.ejs. Okay, so whatever is inside this, what I will do is I will cut it and put it in head.ejs file. Okay, so here in this case, instead of writing the entire content here, what I will do is I will include that uh, file. Okay, this head.ejs file here. How can I can include it? You can use less than question mark, and let's see the syntax for it. How to include. Okay, so here is the output. Outputs the escape file into this. Then this. I think to import or include, you can see the same syntax. Okay, so dash you can use to include the files. Okay, so let's include it. So less than percent hyphen include. Okay, now in this include, we have to write a path. Okay, which is nothing but partials slash head. Okay, dot ejs. Okay, you have to specify the entire path like this. Okay, and then percent. Okay, I guess it's hyphen percent. Okay, no need to specify hyphen. Okay, it's percent, it's greater than only. Okay, so here you can see I'm including, now you can say that partials. I have to write a partials, then head slash features, because we are inside views folder and then you have a hierarchy inside views folder. You'll have to specify that hierarchy here. Okay, partial slash head dot eaches. And once you include this, uh, let's see, am I able to see this entire head.eaches file or bootstrap included in my index file or not? Okay, so here in this head, you can see all of this were included before. I'll just refresh it. You will see that I'm still able to see the font. That means my bootstrap is included here. Okay, let's change this index to something else so that we can verify. Let's change it to head. Okay, and let's verify the title I have changed for index to head. This title should change. You can see it's changed to head. Okay, that means I'm able to successfully able to include this AJS file here. Okay, now let's say I want to change the title. Okay, but for each and every file the title should be different. Okay, so I'll use less than percent equals to percent greater than and title property here. Okay, so I need to pass the title property. Now when you include any file, you can pass any property like the object here. Okay, here in this case I'll say index. Now the title as index with the object will be passed to this head.eaches, and I will be successfully able to use the title property here. So here index will be replaced. You can refresh and you will see, you can see the title is index and here also index. Okay. So you can pass properties to your partial files as well using the comma and the object. Okay, so whatever the object you will pass, you can access the properties inside the object directly here like this. Okay, now similarly we can create a footer file as well. Let's say footer.ejs. Okay. And in this footer.ejs, I'll use this script tag for this and I'll place it here. Okay, so it's my footer.ejs. Save it, include that footer.ejs file. So it will be footer.ejs. I don't want to pass anything for footer. We'll just save it. Okay. Now, for now, you will see this is included like this. You refresh, you will see the again it is included. Okay. So I'm able to use footer. Now what I need to do is I'll just have to copy this and put it in here. Okay. Now here we will pass about us. Here we will pass contact. Here we will pass 404 not found. Entire content title. Okay. And similarly we'll use footer as well. Footer in about contact 404 not found. Okay. So everywhere now you will see the bootstrap is included. So about also contact also and 404 as well. Okay. So everywhere you will be able to see this because bootstrap is included in head.js and javascript is included in footer.js. Okay, now later on if you want to include some common styles or common javascript files, you can just go to head.js and footer.js and it will be automatically included in every file here. Okay, you don't have to write redundant code each and every in each and every files. Okay, understood everyone how to include a file, a partial file? Okay, good. Okay, do it. Once done, we'll move ahead. Just include it here. About contact 404, everyone do it. Then, okay, what about others? Okay. 10. Okay. So, okay. Now, let's say when I'm displaying this title property, okay. For some of the pages, this title property is required, but for some of the pages, I need a default title. Okay. Let's say I don't want to pass the title here. Okay. But if I don't pass it, and if I refresh this page now, index page, you will see the title is not defined because we haven't passed the title property here, and there's a reason you will see title is not defined here. Okay. In that case, how we can ensure that if there is title is not passed, we can some use default value. Okay. So in that case, we can just check the title property whether it is passed or not using if condition. Okay. So here you will see we can use if condition. Okay. If they have given one example here, okay, using percent less symbol. Okay. So in this we can use if condition, and if the condition is true, then we will display something. If it is false, then else we can write something else. Okay. So here in this case as well, if you have a title property, okay, then we will display title, or else we will not we will display something else. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So let's say I want to display this title. Okay. But it will be displayed if, so we'll write percent less than percent. If title, then it's curly brace, and then close the percent, because we are not going to close the curly brace because curly brace will be closed once your if condition is done. Okay. So here we will close the curly brace, and then we will write percent greater than. Before that, we'll write else as well, because in else, if the title is not present, then we will display, okay, then we will display index here. Okay. If nothing is passed, okay, so I'll just indent it so that it will be readable. Okay. So if title is there, then we will display title. If it is not there, then we will display index. Okay. Let's see if this works or not. Refresh. Okay. I'm still able to see the title is not defined. Okay. Now why so? Because when we say user, that means the user's value is passed or not. Okay. So in this case, title is not defined. That means title is not passed. You can see it's line number 4. Okay. So for this, we can use one more thing. We can check type of title is not equals to undefined. Okay. So we can use this check. If the type of the variable is not equals to undefined, then only it's not equals to, sorry. Okay, what is giving me this error? I think it's in single quotes. It's a string, I guess. So let's see. Yeah, it's a string. Okay. So if I say, you can use this syntax as well, because title, if you pass it here and if it is null, then only you can check if title. If the title you don't pass it, then in that case you have to check type of title is not equals to single quotes undefined. Okay. So it should not be single string undefined. If it is not undefined, then we can say title display title property here. Otherwise, the index will be displayed, and you can see index is the title. If you use slash about, you will see the title is about us. If you use contact, then you will see the title is contact. Okay. If you go to index, then you will see the title is index. Okay. Although I haven't passed the title property here, but it is not passed, then in the else condition, you will see the index value. Understood how to use if condition? If you pass the title property, but it's null, then you can use if title. If you don't pass the property, then in that case, you can use type of title not equals to single quotes undefined. Understood, everyone? So do it side by side. Okay, I'll just switch to the next topic. Okay, so now we have added footer, header. Okay, uh, let's say I want to add now in this case you can see whenever I have to go to, let's say, about page, I have to type in the URL and then I go to it. If I were to go to contact page, I have to type in the URL and refresh, then I will go to that page. If I go to again this URL, I again have to type in it in the URL. Instead of that, if you have some links onto your page, you can directly go through, click on that link and it will go, right? So for that purpose, you need let's say a top bar where we can add some links. So let's go to Bootstrap and check whether we have something like this. We have it, I guess, in components, the navbar. Okay, in the navbar section, you will find a navbar here. See, this is the navbar. Okay, so this navbar you can use it to display our header and links. Okay, so I'll just copy this, and now where should I paste it? Okay, if I paste it here, okay, let's say in the body section. Okay, I'll just paste it here. I will put about .ejs here and head.ejs after this. Okay. And in the index.js, ejs, let's say I don't need some of the things like this is navbar. Let's say I have a my application, okay, title here, and then we don't need this form. I'll remove it. We don't need this li disable tag. Remove it. I don't need this drop down also. I'll remove it. I don't need this link tag as well, so I'll remove it. Okay. Now let's save it and refresh. So you will see my application. This is working because we have a JavaScript here. Okay. If we don't have it, you will not see this. And if you just go beyond 768 pixel, you will see that it is responsive. Okay, because of Bootstrap, it is responsive, already a responsive web page. Okay, let's add some different color to this. So I'll use color schemes here. I'll use blue one, BG primary database theme dark. Okay. So navbar BG. Okay, it's for now. No, BG primary. Let's save it and refresh. It's a dark one. BG body tertiary. Okay. Just remove BG body tertiary and BG primary class, which will put a blue color, and BG database theme dark. I don't know what is this. Okay. We can remove it, I guess. It's for dark theme, I guess. Oh, the color is changed to black. So put this database theme equals to bar dark. You'll see the color is white. Okay, now here we have a home link, so it is like hash. Okay, you just have to change that link to slash. Okay, so we'll go to the home page like this. Okay, now let's add some more links. Copy, paste. So we have let's say 3 pages. Okay, so it's um, contact contact. Okay, now let's see, refresh. We'll see about, go to about, and you will see about now. But when you as soon as go to about, you will see that the header bar is gone because, can anyone tell me why the header is gone?
Have to add that in head.ejs.
Yes, we can add that in head.ejs, but you can see in head.ejs we have only section which is inside head. Okay, which is inside head, but this section is inside body. So let's do one thing. We'll create a one more partial which is header.ejs, where we can write header related. Okay, just cut it from here, paste it, save it. Now let's go. and add that partial here using include header.details. Okay. Now refresh. Okay, it's added in index.details. So let's go to about.details and paste it here. Refresh, you will see about page. Again, you'll have to do say same for contact also and 404 as well. Okay. Refresh, you'll see contact about home. Okay, everywhere you will see this. Okay, just still have to change my application. Okay, but you can see now if I want to add one more link, I'll just go to header.gs and add it. Okay, I don't have to edit it everything everywhere. Understood this partial and how we can use it. Okay, write it down. Then so my JS is not working. What's the issue? Can you show this?
Yes, sure, sir. The navbar is not working actually. I think it's because of the jazz.
Yeah, share the screen.
Yeah, yeah, I'll show you. So can you see?
Not yet.
Um, can you see now, sir?
Yes. You are not able to see the CSS as well.
Mm. Yeah, but the
Why? Go to your server.js, right?
I'll show.
Static. No, no. Oh, you haven't rendered the other files. You're
Aha,
using
okay.
this.
Ah, yeah, yeah, sure, sir. Okay, okay, understand. Sorry, sir.
Yeah. Everyone else is it done? Done? Okay. What about others? Is it done? Okay. What about others? Any Supriya's Jyoti Lakshmi is done. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, let's move on. Now we have displayed header, so we'll be able to navigate through the pages. Okay. Now let's focus on our CRUD operations. Okay. I hope you guys know about CRUD operations. CRUD means create, read, update, and delete. Okay. So if you have any one resource in the on that resource, you can perform the CRUD operations. Okay, you might have done this in SQL lectures, in your SQL lectures, where we can do create operation, read means select, okay, update, delete. Okay, these operations we can do it on one resource. Okay, one resource you can say, let's say user is a resource, product is a resource. So on each resource we can perform all the CRUD operations. Okay, now if you want to, the CRUD operations is the most important part in every application, because in every application you'll have a resource, and on that resource you need to perform this CRUD operations. Okay, now let's do one thing. We'll create one simple, since we have a user object here. So let's consider one user's resource, okay, where we will display all the users. We'll create a user, we'll update that user, we'll delete that user. Okay, but this time it won't be based on database. It will be purely based on in memory. Okay, memory based data. Okay, so every time you will refresh the page or refresh the server, your data will get recreated again. Okay, so your data created will be lost, okay, once you restart the server. Okay, but we will think about how to persist it when we come to the database part. Okay, but for now just focus on the CRUD operations that we can perform. Okay, even if you don't have a database, we can do that. I'll just close this header.ejs and head.ejs. We'll add one link in header.ejs. Okay, let's go and add, um, paste. This link will be users. Okay, this will go to users page. Okay, now this users page will be will show us users listing. Okay, so if you go and refresh your page, you will see the user section. But if you go to the users page, you will see page not found, because we don't have a URL for these users yet. Okay, so let's go to your server.js file and create a URL for this. I'll just copy, paste. Okay, this will be users. Okay. Um, Now this should render some users page. So I'll create a view for that. Let's say I want to create a, you can create based on each and every resource, you can create a folder, or you can create the same in same file as well. Okay, I usually prefer, if you want to properly architect your structure your application, you should always create a folder wise uh, views. Okay, so it will be better. So I'll create a folder here, users, and this users I'll have all the files related to users resource. Okay, so I'll just create first file, let's say list.ejs. So this list.ejs will list down all the users file. Okay, or let's say all the users. Okay, so I'll just add HTML to this. Now this head, it will come from your head.ejs. So I'll just copy the content from here, copy, then paste. Okay, here if you run this now, okay, first of all you need to add this list.ejs here. Okay, so if you go to this page, you will see it's inside users, so you'll write users slash list. Okay, so it will display users slash is.ejs file. Okay, but now if you go and click on users, you will see could not find the include file partial slash head.ejs. This was working before, but why it is not working now? Okay, because you are inside users folder. Previously when you included the head.ejs file, let's say in about.ejs, you were in the same directory, so you were able to access partial folder directly. Okay, inside that you have a head.ejs file, but now you are inside users directory, and that there you will have is list.ejs. So you'll have to go one directory back, dot slash. Okay, so you can go the using dot slash, go one directory back, and then use head.ejs. Similar, same thing you'll have to do here, same thing you'll have to do here. Okay, and this is a users list page, and we'll change this to users. Okay, title users, let's say list. And now refresh your page, you will see users list displayed here. Okay, with title users dash list. Okay, Now here we are going to display all the users. Okay. Now for that, we have a users list. Now how do you pass the users list? We can pass the object using comma and curly brace here. Okay. Let's say we have a users colon. I want to send array of users. Okay. So here we will say array of user object. Let's say id colon 1 comma name colon my name. Okay. Then age colon, let's say some age. I'll add one more object so that we can display two objects over there. Two, let's say Ajay, and then it says this 25, okay, something like this. Okay. Now I'm passing this users array to this list.html. Now how do you display that users array here? Okay. To display that, we can use less than percent greater than symbol. Inside this, we can use the variable name, which is nothing but your users. Okay, dot for each. Okay, now this is a for each function. You can check it in here as well. Okay, so where was it? So here you can see users dot for each, and you can pass a function to this, which will have a it's a callback function. You pass a user and then show the user details. Okay, you can include a partial or you can directly use HTML here. Okay, to display it, user dot you can access it. Okay, but now this is not closing here. That means you'll have to write function, then user, then start a curly brace. Okay, then for closing, we'll write percent, less than percent greater than the closing curly brace. This curly brace will close. Then this round bracket will close. So it's like this. Okay. Now inside this, we can display user details. Okay. Let's say I display it in div. Okay. You'll use less than percent equals to percent greater than, and then we'll write user dot name. Okay. Now this user, we are accessing it here. You'll just write id and name and age for all, and now just refresh your page. Let's see whether we are able to see both. You can see 1 Pranit 24, 2 Ajay 25. Okay, that means I am able to see the two both the details here, but those are not in proper format. Okay, in that case we can use table for this. So let's go to our bootstrap and search for table. Think it's table tables. Go for tables and let's use the same table here. So I'll copy and just paste it below this. Now this is the header section where we will have ID, then name, and then age. Okay. We'll have one more. Let's call it actions. Okay. So later on we will add actions like edit, update, delete buttons. So we'll keep this column for now. So ID, name, age. Okay, now we know this tr, we just have to include it once because this tr is going to be a loop. Okay, because this is the tr is like for each and every user we'll have to write one more row. Okay, so we'll use tr as a loop. Okay, so we'll add a users dot for each over here. Okay, and same we can put it in here, paste it here. Then inside this we have a th, so id we will put it here, paste, then name, then age. Okay, and then I'll keep it blank for now. Just okay. Now I'll remove this one and let's refresh the page and see. Okay, see now I'm able to see every thing in a row. Okay, it is quite like you can see it is quite close to your borders, so you can use a container tag. Okay, so if I want to use container tag, in that case I'll add a, let's say, main tag here, class container. The container is a bootstrap class. We'll include that here. Okay. Refresh. You will see there is a space here. Okay. You want to include a users list as well here inside this, then we will put it here. Okay, you will see users list is also displayed. You want to add some spacing here, you can add margin top empty dash is fine. Okay, it's also a bootstrap class. You can see margin top to rem. So you'll refresh, you will see there is a stop margin. Okay, okay, so that's how you can display the array using for each. Okay. Understood everyone how to do display? This is a just a read part. Okay, so here we have a users array. Now this users array, you can see it's actually we are directly passing it over here. What I will do is I will create a variable const users equals to this. Okay, now I am doing this because later on I'm going to add a user into this array so that I can see all the users, then delete, update, everything I will do inside this users array. Okay, so it's better to you create a variable here, separate variable, and then pass it on. Okay, and now I need, you can see the key name and variable name are same. Short, use shortened property syntax. Okay, so understood everyone how to display a read operation? Okay, good. Okay, do it. Then we will see the create and update operations. I'll just be back in few minutes. Done. Sir, my JSON CSS is still not working. Can you please check out? Sure. Is it done, everyone? Okay. What about others? Okay, good. So, okay, now let's see one more operation. Okay, then we will stop. Okay, I think the create, update, and delete we can do it later on. We'll see one more operation that is again a read operation, but that will be a view resource. Okay, so right now what we are seeing is list of resources. Okay, list of all the resources of the users. Okay, so let's say I have a button here which is view, and if I click on that view button, I will see this only this entire row in a view page. Okay, now for that I'll need a ID for this user. Okay, and I'll need one more URL. So can you please share the code after lecture, because I can able to listen and not able to do part parallelly now because of no issues. That's fine. See, we have a we want to display. Let's say we have a button here, view button. If I click on that view button, I will see one more page where I will see this entire user with, let's say, its name, age, and ID, everything. Okay. But to do that, I'll need that one more page. Okay, let's say user view page, and one more link. Okay, where I can display that user and also the ID of that user, so that I can display that particular user. Okay. So first of all, if I click on this, how can I go to that page? Okay. For that, I'll have to add some anchor link. Okay. So let's say I will add an anchor link here. Okay, in list.ejs file. I'll add anchor link. Okay. Now this anchor link, let's say view. Okay. It will just display a link over here. I'll add a button styling to this. Okay, there is button and buttons. Let's add this success wala class. View. Okay. Copy and class paste. So you see a view button here. So if I click on this, you will see it is coming. It is just refreshing this user page. Okay, because there is no link to this, so by default it takes the default link. Okay, now I want to go to, let's say, slash users. Okay, slash some ID. Okay, let's say one ID. Okay, if I'm selecting this first, the ID will be 1. If I'm selecting the second, the ID will be 2. Okay, but if I refresh this and click on this, you will see page not found, and you will see the user slash 1 also printed here. Okay, and if I also click on this, you will see user slash 1, again page not found. On both of these cases, I am saying user slash 1 because I have hard coded it here. Okay, instead of this 1, I want to use ID, actual ID. So I'll use so the same syntax here. like this. Okay. Now refresh your page, and if you hover over it, you will see in the bottom left corner it's user slash one, and when I hover on second, you will see user slash two. If I click on this, you will see user slash one, and if I click on this, you will see user slash two. That means I'm able to go to the proper URL. Now I have to handle this page. Okay, so when I go to this page user slash one, I should be able to see the that particular user. Okay, now first of all, I'm able to do the URL, but how do I handle the same URL here? Okay, because till now, whatever the URLs that we saw are all the static URLs. None of them are dynamic URLs. Here you can see I have a user's URL, but this user slash one, user slash two, you can say that all URLs are same, only the ID part is changing. That means it's a dynamic URL. Okay. So how do I create a dynamic URL here? Now to create a dynamic URL, you'll have to write users slash colon your placeholder name, you can see. Okay, whatever placeholder name you have to specify, you can write id, you can write user id, whatever. Okay, it's just a placeholder name. So whenever you write user slash anything 1 2 3 4 whatever, okay, it will display whatever or do whatever we want to do it here. Let's say I'll just print response dot send. Okay, I'll do just view right here. Okay, let's say view. I'll just print view. Okay. So if I go to this, let's say user slash one page, you will see view. Okay, so that means I'm able to handle this. Let's see the user slash two. Okay, you can see I'm able to see view on page. Okay, that means my URL is properly getting handled here. Okay, now instead of this send, I want to render a page. Okay. Now before rendering that page, first of all, I need that ID. Okay, whatever ID is passed to this URL, I need that ID. Now how do I get that ID? Now this ID is basically you can get it from this request object. How? Because this user slash ID is basically generated from user itself. Okay, because user itself is like clicking on that link. That means the URL is coming from the user. Okay, and you will get that in a request dot URL, right? But to get this parameters, okay, this dynamic parameters, you can use request dot params. Okay, this request dot params is parsed. Means express.js will parse this URL and put this parameters into this params object. Okay, you can refresh it and you will see I object with ID colon 2 is printed here. Okay, that means I am able to get the ID, but this ID you can see it's a string, not a number. Okay, that means you need to convert this string to a number. You'll have to remember that. Okay, so let's say I got my ID, right? So let's do one thing, copy, and we'll put it in a id equals to request.params.id. We can write it like this, or else we can destructure it because we may have a lot of parameters like this. Okay, right now we only have id, so we'll get it a id here. Okay, now we can print this id here and let's see whether I'm able to see the id. Refresh, we'll see id as 2. Okay, so I'm getting id. Let's go back and click on this. So I'm getting id as 1. Okay, so I'm getting id. Now based on this id, I want to find the user from this user's array. Okay, now how do I find it? Now to get that user, you can write, let's say, const user equals to you in a array you have a dot find function. Okay, this find function, it accepts a callback or predicate function. Okay, which is again it works like a filter and map function, whereas in filter function we filter out the array elements from an array and it will return a array. In map also we are not filtering out, but we are changing each and every element of that array to some new array, and you'll get a new array for this. Okay, but in case of find, it will just find based on the predicate. If the value is found, it will return that object. If the object is not found, then it will return null. Okay, or undefined, you can say. So here it's again a callback function. Let's say I have a user here. Now this user will check user dot id equals to id. Now if I do this id, See, ID is a string and this ID is a number. So this will obviously not match because I'm using triple equals to. Okay. So we can convert this string to a number using plus. Okay. So when you do this, this entire thing will become a number. Okay. Although it is string, but this will become a number. This will like parsing. Okay. Converting string to a number. Okay. Now this will user will be found. Okay. And you can just print that user for now and check whether you are able to see the proper user. See, you are able to see the ID with name ID with I1 as a user. Okay. Let's go back and check this one. See, the Ajay is printed ID with 2. That means I am able to fetch a proper user. Now, the remaining thing is create a EJS file and pass this user object to this and print. Okay. So let's see, new file view.ejs. Okay. Let's print or do one thing. List.ejs. I'll copy, paste. Okay. Remove this table, entire table. Here, let's say user view. Okay. And let's say I print ID here, percent equals to user dot id percent this. Okay. And then we will print username, let's say h3 percent equals user dot name percent. Okay. So let's print this and let's see, this is user view. Okay. And see, go to this. Okay. I haven't rendered this page. So first of all, render, then which that you want to render is view.ejs file and pass on your user object. Okay. If you pass user like this, then let's see what happens. Refresh. You will see fail to lookup view. Okay, that's because you are into users slash view. Okay, so make sure you are writing a proper path. Refresh. You will see user is not defined because you are directly passing user object like this. Instead, you can wrap it in a square bracket and put user like this. Okay. And now if refresh, you will see user v1, user name, and you can print age as well. Okay. And let's go back and check this user. So you're able to see the second user. Okay. Understood everyone how to view a particular user? Yes. Okay. What about others? Okay. 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 So write it down, then we will stop here and we'll cover the next topic in the next lecture. Okay, like create, update, and delete part. Okay, but complete this first and let me know once done. I'll stop the recording.